Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm Janelle, and in today's video, we are going to the capital of one of my favorite countries, Italy. Rome is a dream destination for first-time travelers, and they are going to offer the best. I'm talking about all of my 5 pillars. They have the best airport, the best accommodation, the best transport, the best food, and the best attractions. It is one of the best cities in the world to visit. I'm gonna kind of give you the rundown of racial undertones, what I experienced as a Black traveler. Did I experience racism or rudeness in Rome? Let's go ahead and get started. I want to talk about the airports. There are 2 that you need to know and be sure of. That's Fiumicino and Ciampino. A lot of people fly in there, and I'm going to give you 3 tips to make sure that your arrival is stress-free. Fiumicino is, in my opinion, a very good airport. It's the largest in all of the country of Italy. They have those pianos, the grand pianos where you can sit and play yourself. I play, so when I landed and just saw the pianos, I was like, oh wow, this is really relaxing. The airport has many restaurants, there's bars, they have top tier lounges. You do want to get there on time if you're flying out from Fiumicino. Maybe 2 hours before if you're flying domestic, and I would bump it up to 3 hours if you're flying internationally. The airport was thoughtfully designed. It is quite functional. You could sleep there if you wanted to. I mean, you can easily get from terminal to terminal in under 5 minutes. Like, I really like that airport. It's one of the reasons why I will always go to Rome despite some issues that I have experienced in the past. Leonardo da Vinci International Airport offers several lounges that cater to different airlines. Here are top 3 that I would recommend. You have the Alitalia Lounge, which is operated by Alitalia, the flag carrier of Italy. And yes, you are going to need to be able to show that you are boarding on that particular date. You can't just be roaming around the airport trying to relax in the lounge. You also have Plaza Premium Lounge, which I've stayed at before. If you are flying with a Star Alliance member like United Airlines or Lufthansa, you can go to the Star Alliance Lounge. All of these are well equipped. You're going to have Wi-Fi. They offer complimentary food and drink. Some even offer showers. When you are arriving from a long flight, being able to rest, relax, take a shower, change your clothes is top tier treatment. Visit the lounges at Fiumicino. Italy is home to several airlines that include full service and low cost carriers. I really love Wizz Air, Ryanair, and EasyJet. You're going to get cheap flights. I'm talking about under $100, under $50. I flew to Jordan one way from Rome, $50 US one way. Of course, I had a backpack. Honey, those prices. Fiumicino is a European hub, so you can get to multiple places, and I haven't even got to the train part. Okay, so most of the time, if I'm flying anywhere in the Europe continent, it's gonna be from Rome. They can be as racist and rude as they like to be. Okay, I've flown Alitalia before. I experienced some racial undertones. I might show you a quick video here, but it really wasn't racism. With these airlines, they only package a certain amount of meals based on the people that signed up. If you're buying a last minute flight, like what I did, I can't really get upset at the flight attendants for not providing me a vegetarian meal. I did get a vegetarian meal later on, but just watch this video
Walking on
and see why I was upset.
if I could get it, like extra vegetarian. He's like, yeah, sure, we have extras. But then when I come to the back, the other flight attendant's like, no, we don't have any special meals. They should have told you that when you checked in at the gate.
In those events, I guess another tip would be to be polite, say hello, please, and thank you when you're dealing with the flight attendants. They are doing the best to serve all of you on the plane in flight. Sometimes we as passengers might get the best of us and be having some unkind words with them. If one attendant is not giving you the best treatment, go to another one. And that's what I did when I was flying. Wait, was it Alitalia or ITA? I'm calling it Alitalia, but they ceased operations in 2021. This is now known as ITA Airways. So I was flying ITA, and that's where I had those issues. But I spoke to another flight attendant, and he's like, ma'am, we got you. Don't worry about her. And she was rude to me on most of the flight. So, you can increase your percentage of getting better treatment by just raising your hand. You can push the button and request someone else who is versed in how to be treating passengers. Because I don't really want my food touching each other. I don't want meat on my plate and them just be like, oh, your option is to just take the meat off and you eat around it. No, no, no. I want a full vegetarian meal that I can enjoy, just like these other passengers. It's probably best if you just order your meal ahead of time. Some passengers like to give the entire flight staff gift cards. It's just a nice, thoughtful way to let the flight attendants know that you are appreciative for them, the pilot, everyone that is making your flight safe and comfortable. However, ITA, it wasn't for me. Now let's talk about budget accommodations. Here are 3 recommendations. Ostello Bello. This is situated in the heart of Rome, steps away from the Colosseum, and it's located near Termini Station. So you have the best transport right outside of your door. Some people might say 5-10 minutes is kind of far for me to walk. Well, you are going to be doing a lot of walking in Rome, so bring a comfortable shoe. Ostello Bello also has an affordable breakfast for about €6, so you might want to check that out too. They have a beautiful rooftop terrace, and it steps to a beautiful park. I really liked walking through the park on my way to the Colosseum. And they also have a piano. Like, pianos bring people together. You can check out the talent in Rome, whether a tourist wants to play or the staff that's there. They also offer free drink. I believe I had the wine there, and I had already had roses from the restaurant nearby. And you're in the Colosseum. Like, each of my videos, I want to think about a theme, and I think the theme for Italy is just romance. You're just walking around, just smelling up Rome with a hint of racism. Sorry, guys. Second is going to be the Rome Hello, which also provides clean and comfortable dorm rooms. They offer many attractions that are within walking distance. If you're going to be staying at the Rome Hello, you want to get the 4 beds instead of the larger dorms. I booked the 4 beds a couple of times, and what ended up happening was, if nobody books, you have the entire place to yourself. It was only one other night where a couple of guys were placed in the room. So yes, this is mixed gender. Personally, for me, I don't mind if men are in the room. Some of them were Italian, and they're very posh, put together, polished. They were respectful, asking me if I was comfortable in my space, if they wanted to turn the light on, because when they had come in, I think I was already lights out, knocked out, going to sleep. You're going to get a welcome drink. Now, this is where a situation occurred at the Rome Hello. So you're supposed to get a free welcome drink from their hours of 5 to 7 at their nearby pub. I came in very late, and I knew that these places sometimes will offer a free drink. So I went to the front desk. Nobody was really there. Again, it was really early. They're supposed to have 24-hour reception. So I was like, oh, I need the code or the card to get my free drink. The next day I went to the pub, and they were looking at me like, oh, we're not giving you no free drink. We're not giving, like, look at this lady here. I took her photo because I'm like, you just gave the people in front of me who were not black their free drink. Like, what's up? And so, I just stood there. She saw that I had my phone out, and they were like, we don't want no problems. Let's just give her the drink. But they were not the friendliest. So that was my only issue with that pub. And the hostel was like, oh, well, that's not usually what that pub is there. Usually staff is friendly and warm. Honey, okay. But the Rome Hello, the rooms and decor are outstanding. I love how they have their water stations where you can pay and get half a liter. It's about maybe 20 cents, and it's fresh water. Their kitchen is immaculate. They offer cooking classes. And if you're trying to be social, they do have board games and activities if you're looking into meet people. Hostel number 3 is going to be, it's called Hotel Cressy, but they offer rooms that have multiple beds in them. This one, it's a little rinky dink. It's a 1-floor hostel in a building. And it's secure. Sometimes the water wasn't hot enough. The pressure was, I'm not going to recommend this one, but it was the cheapest of the 3. And it really looks like these prices have gone up, you guys. A lot of guests are complaining how expensive these hostels are. Not hotels, hostels. Ostello Bello is going to be about $80 a night. I had a private room. So it's gone up to $150 a night, okay? So don't think just because you're in a hostel you can get a good deal. The Rome Hello is about 70 a night. That's the really nicest one. I think it's the nicest of the three. And then Hotel Cressy was about 75, which I don't think is a good deal at all, especially with your sharing with other people. And at Hotel Cressy, they had this lift. It's old school where you have to open the door to get in, then you got to close the door, you got to step in, close it behind you, and then it's like going down and up. It can be a little eerie. All of these hostels are great in the sense that they offer free lockers, towels. They have, for the most part, outstanding service. The kitchens are immaculate. They're well clean bathrooms. You don't have to bring a towel because they will offer one to you. You don't have to bring sheets or pay extra for any of that. Like, Europe does hostels right, you guys, and Rome is no exception. You can get organized tours if you are looking to see the sites with a group of people. If you just go to their front desk, they'll give you city maps. It's similar to going to like a tourist visitor center. If you go on to hostelworld.com, you also can look up TripAdvisor and of course go to Google for reviews. If you're enjoying this video, go ahead, like and subscribe. That way I know that you are enjoying it. No trip to Rome is complete without visiting the world wonder, the Colosseum, the Colosseo. There are various ways that you can do this. One is at night. Rome at night is so amazing and beautiful. And just walking around, you wouldn't even have to go inside if you didn't want to. Just walking around the Colosseum, being in that area. I took a lot of pictures from the corner right next to that park that I was telling you about when I was at the hostel. It's fantastic. But if you do want to pay to go inside for a tour, then that is up to you. You can get this through Viator, get your guide. You can even get it through the local tour companies. That way they don't have to pay a percentage to the third-party companies and help support the Italians. But honey, Rome is making money. It's not like they need it. I would just go to the cheaper options there. The first time I went, I was in my 20s. Just the awe and wonder. It's just like, wow, I'm in the Colosseum. So much history and culture here. After that, I was like, I'm good. Adjacent to the Colosseum, the Roman Forum was the center of ancient Rome's political and religious commercial life. You could wander through the ruins. You might not know that the Colosseo and the Roman Forum are free on the first Sundays of the month. So if you plan your trip around that and want to save, a few euros here and there, keep that in mind. The next activity is the Trevi Fountain. I have a quick story about this. I found someone to take my picture because when you're traveling solo, people always ask, like, who's taking your pictures? I don't bring a tripod or anything like that. I'm just doing this with my phone. So I found a girl and I was like, can you take my pictures? I'm going to hoist myself up, sit on this little post here, and then you just take the pictures. It was mad crowded. I put my purse down by her feet because I didn't want the purse in the photo. So I'm looking at her, keeping an eye on the purse, and she was just snapping the photos. They didn't come out right. But when I looked back at them, I saw that this guy was staring at me like he was right in front of the fountain. I posted on Instagram and TikTok because there was this sound that said, "Why are white people always in my business?" People were really reacting to that. I even have a YouTube short on it if you scroll back. Guys, it really wasn't like that. He was looking at me like you see it in this photo, but then it was really quick. And then he was focused on the fountain. By this time of the day, it is so crowded. I don't even advise if you go there midday. You need to go there in the early morning. Now, this Trevi Fountain is known because you can throw coins into it. All right. The legend says if you throw one coin in, it means you're going to return to Rome. If you throw 2 coins in, it means you might fall in love with a hot Italian guy. And then 3 coins in, it means that you have a chance of marrying them. This is what they say. I even think we saw a proposal there. They do have rules. You're not supposed to be picking up the coins out of the fountain. That is definitely not happening. You don't drink the water from the fountain. Americans, we need to travel with some class and not just be rowdy tourists. And you can end up with a nice fee of 500 euros if you were caught jumping into the basin. So this is not the time to be playing those games. The third attraction, of course, is going to be the Vatican City. That's where you're going to see St. Peter's Basilica. You have the Sistine Chapel. Someday I'll tell you about the time I got kicked out of the Sistine Chapel. And of course, the Vatican museums. Just like the Colosseum and the Roman Forum, The Vatican and St. Peter's Basilica are free on the last Sunday of the month. If you're going to go during those times, I mean, those lines could be out the door. It's going to be crazy. So just be prepared for that. You also have the Pantheon, the Spanish Steps, the Piazza Navona. Rome is a foodie paradise. For vegetarians, I really enjoyed myself there. Every time I'm going to Rome, the food is going to be outstanding. It's the capital, so you know it's going to be banging. Here are 3 restaurants with fantastic vegetarian options. Refugio Romano. This is a vegan restaurant that's in the capital. Now, it's very small and it can be difficult to get reservations. I was able to get in because I was party of one. It was raining heavily that night and there were a lot of cancellations. This vegan restaurant offers a menu that has salads, it has pastas, and even antipasti. It's nice to see that vegetarians can be included in eating the Italian delights. It was all vegan, y'all. When you are in Italy, you're not trying to get Italian American food. I mean, they will be looking at you like, what are you doing? It is a crime if you are using your knife for the pasta. You're supposed to twirl it with the fork. One thing I love about travel is experiencing local customs and traditions. What better place to do this than in Rome, when in Rome, right? Some common customs and etiquette that you can observe and even practice in Italy are as follows. Appetizers, antipasti. This can include a variety of meats, olives, cheeses, bruschetta. It is customary to eat all of these tasty appetizers slowly, devouring and savoring every bite. Italian meals have multiple courses. You start with the antipasti, the appetizers, followed by your first course, which is a primo. This can be risotto or pasta, and you eat both of those with a fork, surprisingly. Nobody eating risotto with a spoon. The secondo, which is going to be the main course, which would have meat or fish. I'm vegetarian, so for me, I just skip this part. Contorni, which is side dishes. I can enjoy vegetables, salads. These are the sides. And lastly, the dolce, which is the dessert. And they conclude the meal with a shot of espresso, if you so choose to partake. Italians prioritize sitting down together family style. When I went to one restaurant, I was sitting by myself, but they had all of the tables and we were all eating our meals, talking. Yes, I was by myself, but I felt like a star. The staff was giving me roses and I had dressed up. It was my first night in Rome and I was steps from the Colosseum. So I was like, I'm going to make this a great dining experience. Again, my food recommendation is going to be Refugio Romano. I also went to an Ethiopian restaurant. It's called Ethiopian Restaurant Africa. I wanted just something different, take a break from all of the delicious Italian food, and I wanted to go to the motherland. Okay, so here I have the injera, and here's my vegetable platter. It is delicious. It's vegetarian, and it is located in Rome. Had pizza, gelato. I am going to talk about this one experience where I was getting pizza. In Italy, they have it into rectangular pieces. It's not your typical pie slices like back home. And I was walking in, I was looking at his vegan options, and I placed my order. And a father and son, this young little boy came in, he pointed at me, and I'm positive, you guys, that a racial slur came out of his mouth because I turned around. I was like, what? Excuse me? And the dad's face turned beet red. And, you know, the dad spoke English and he was like, no, I'm so sorry. I mean, he must have heard it from his grandmother. And I was like, I don't know where or who he heard it from to make him think that it was okay to point at me and say that and that you didn't correct him. So I was not too pleased with that. The owner was trying to make up for the situation. So when I left the restaurant and finished my food, you know, they brought me to the gelato place and was like, just get whatever you want. So I was like, okay. Another time I was sitting in the park and somebody came up to me. They're like, would you like to go get an ice cream? I'm like, sure. You want to buy me gelato? It's fine. So men, they just treat you to things, whether it's wine, roses, food, dinner. This is the vibe in Italy. Yes, that boy called me a racial slur, but it's not all of the Italians. That's what I do want to make clear. I really enjoy the food there. With drink, if you're going to get the seltzer water, that is con gas, all right? That's the gas. If you want natural water, be sure to say that senza gas. This is something that always trips me up in Europe. I get so confused, and then I'll taste it. I'll be like, ooh, I don't want this. I wanted the natural water. Getting around Rome is easy thanks to its excellent transportation system. If you want to navigate the city like a local, here's how to do it. The Rome Metro is a fast and convenient way for you to travel between major attractions. Be sure to get a Metro ticket, or you can even get the Roma Pass for unlimited rides. Rome's bus network covers the entire city, and it makes it perfect for reaching destinations that are not offered by the Metro. Like I said, in my hostel, the bus stop was right outside. If you're not sure of where to go, you can download apps like Move It to ensure that you will be at the right stop so your journey can be smooth. Rome Termini is the main train station. You can get here non-stop by taking the Leonardo Express. You also can take the shuttle buses. The Leonardo Express, I believe, is about 11 euros. It's nonstop, and you're going to get to Termini in about maybe 30 minutes. If you want to take the shuttle buses, those are going to take longer, but you can get there for 6 euros or 7 euros. And both of these, you can leave from Fiumicino Airport to get to the city center. From here, you can visit other cities in Italy like Naples, Venice, Milan. You can go to Florence. All of these directly from the train station there. I like when cities have train station. It's easy to access from the airport. It really makes travel simplified. Many of Rome's attractions are going to be accessible by walking. By most of my hostels, I stayed in the city center so that I could easily access these attractions. Explore the city on foot. You can get a walking tour. You can just stroll around. A lot of the best times I've had have just been taking a stroll, walking around. You never know what hidden gems you're going to discover. I am not a detailed planner like that. I kind of just want to go with the flow and see where the day takes me. There's also scooters and bikes. All of these ways of transport are going to make sure that you enjoy your time in Rome. Closing out, is Rome racist or rude? It's going to depend on the traveler. I did experience some moments of rudeness and some of just straight out racism, where people are learning terms even from young children and calling me those. While it is out of pocket, it was not every Italian, okay? At the airport, I stood in line. I went to Jordan with the Italians. They would hold my place in line while I sit down. So traveling as a woman, it may have some advantages. As a whole, there have been other travelers whose experience was different as a Black traveler. I'm not going to disregard their opinions. I can only speak for myself. Rome is a major city. It's one of the most visited in the world. You're going to see people from all over. And I think that instances of racism can occur all around the globe, especially in my home country, the United States. Take that with a grain of salt. And there you have it. Here's your top comprehensive guide for those looking to visit Rome for the first time. Even on a budget, some of these attractions that I mentioned are free. Rome is sure to capture your heart, from the ancient ruins, the world wonder, the Colosseum, the delicious vegetarian delights, and the easy transportation. I would even take some time to peruse and stroll around the Fiumicino airport just to see the art and the pianos that they have there. It's a top 5 destination. I think everyone should try it at least once, then venture out to see what Italy has to offer. I hope that this guide is going to make your trip unforgettable. Remember, you have taken this time off to explore the world, and you are worthy of a peaceful, relaxing vacation. You deserve it. If you have any tips or favorite spots in Rome, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see another video about South American travel, you can click here. And I'm going to see you guys next week.